When you hear that sound, you know what it's all about. We're about to get into the world of entertainment news, just all the tea, what's been going on all around the world of entertainment. It's the Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Your love music, love life, love entertainment, love gestation as well. It's 18 minutes past 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Welcome along to the ride. We know we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:15. If you did not know, now you know. My name is Ayokunmi. Great to have you join us this morning. And of course, when I say us, and I'm never alone on a Tuesday morning, I have the one, the only Irabor 100 joining me. Irabor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, lovely to be on the show as always. Let's see what's going on in the entertainment industry.
Quite a number of things. 10, they say, is happening or are happening. Anyway, you
Mm.
want to actually look at it. But before we jump into what's going on, you can join us on the Grapevine as always by sending your thoughts, your messages into us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. That is the WhatsApp number. You can also join the live stream on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can drop your comment there as well. Definitely looking forward to hearing and taking your thoughts on the story we'll be talking about. A number of things to get into. But I actually want to start on a very, very, very light note. And for whatever reason, we've never actually talked about this before, but I saw it yesterday. It brought back some memories. I had a very good laugh. And I said, I need to bring this to Irabor's table because he plays in the movie sector. It is his playground. And you know what? Let me just take a part of it. I think you know where I'm coming from with this one. Now, our movie industry has come a long way, breaking barriers and gaining global recognition. But some tropes have overstayed their welcome. Now, Nollywood should and can definitely do better because some of the stereotypes are no longer working. I'm quoting from the story here for those who are listening. Now, you know the ones with the ever-suffering wife with this, whose sole purpose is to endure, or the village boy who goes to the city and suddenly becomes a millionaire storyline. We're done. It's a wrap. And these storylines should not enter into 2025. And I saw these things there about, and I said, these are actually really true because over the years, we've seen movies that have these, should I say, these stereotypes, these tropes. I know that the woman who must suffer first before finding happiness. When you have two people, when you have someone who uh, likes someone, but there's no chemistry there, the billionaire who falls for the poor girl, all those kind of things. And we've seen so many different movies that have storylines that are similar or work around those tropes. Now, from your perspective, and of course your experience as well, looking forward to 2025, are these tropes or these storylines or these stereotypes, do they still have a market to create movies, or are these things that we should, quietly begin to put in the box and look to do some new things? What's your perspective on this one, Irabo?
I mean, if the audience is patronizing it, I would say continue doing it because it's a business. So
Mm,
I would advise anybody looking to enter into any form of business to really just look at what is profitable. It's not necessarily about passion. So in this case, if we're speaking about Nollywood and people are having issues with the tropes and the storylines being too common, then first of all, you ask, who is saying this? Is it the audience or is it critics? Because anybody who is making any form of content for Nollywood or anything really, they have to play to the audience. Yes, you would have
mm,
innovators because before nobody really realized that. I mean, you had the company that was funding research for innovation about cameras and what the future would be, and they gave them the result of what the future would be, and they who funded the entire study didn't even take on the results at the end of the day. They now lost out eventually. So we now started having digital cameras and cameras on phones and all that. So again, you would have innovators, but what is the market saying? Because you have to recoup your investment. I
very
get the
true.
standpoint of this person. I'm sure the person is a critic. So this person is probably just venting uh, around the whole subject matter. But what do Nigerians in this case want? Are they looking for intellectual storylines that will keep their brain thinking, or are they just looking to just pass time with something that would entertain them because their lives have been stretched thin as a result of the economy and all that. Now, if we now want to look at it from the standpoint of how we may want to position our industry in terms of standard and execution and implementation and story quality, for posterity's sake, then yes, I mean, we should try to make sure that the majority of the projects that we're putting out there have some form of creative and plausible dynamism, to the point where anybody can say, okay, yeah, they have so and so and so. They will give you enough examples. Then if it's now low level, they'll say, okay, yeah, they still have low level so and so. I mean, there was a Hollywood film that I watched. I was completely appalled. Like I said, wow, this movie really had a pre-production, production, and post-production, and even there's a distribution channel for this film to be put out. Like this film, and it's not as if I don't even know the actors that are in it. They're probably dealing these C-list actors, but it's shockingly you see them there. So every industry has its Michael Jackson, Prince, and has its what are those guys who did the lip sync thing? They won Grammy. Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli.
Every industry has their Milli Vanilli. They have their Milli Vanilli and they have their Michael Jacksons and their Princes and all that. But you should have more Michael Jacksons in the sense, or have one Michael Jackson and a Prince. Then you have a bunch of Jay-Z's and Kendricks and everything. Then eventually you'd have an Idris Abdul Karim and so and so Tony Tetula. So the balance should be made in such a way that the industry is not hurt at the end of the day. So It's a subjective thing, based on person to person. But that's why I say record keeping is very important. Polling is very important. Sharing your opinions is very important. Because once you have that data, you can now make decisions. So for example, I'll give you an example before I wrap up on this particular topic. So if I had a conversation with a client yesterday and they were like, oh, Irabor, why haven't you gotten back to me on this film thing that I said? I said, I had already told you what to do. I don't know if you're expecting magic from me. So they're like, so they're telling me that we cannot do a YouTube film for 30 million naira. I said, it's not as if we can't do a YouTube film for 30 million naira. But it depends on the YouTube film you want to do. Do you want to go and compete with Ruth Kadri, Adunia Ade, Bimbo Ademoye, who is just a new entrant, Uduaki Song and Co. Or you just want to just go and release film, and
for the sake of
money.
it.
So we were now talking. So that kind of person now, the person isn't really sure. The person just maybe sees how these people are doing it, but they don't know what is required. So that data is not out there. Like there's this film, 77. It's a film coming out third quarter next year. We were at a media party last week. And somebody asked a question and said, and the person was from BOI. The person asked, how much did it take you, or is it taking you to do this? The person said they are still spending money, that they spent up to $1.7 million currently till this moment of, do you get? So a lot of people won't understand what it takes. That's why I don't really like, and I kind of understand where they're coming from if they don't share data and statistics, because the economy and the industry doesn't even have any structure. But that would even help to educate somebody, okay, how much is this person even collecting? Because now we know that if Will Smith wants to do a picture, it's between 20M to something, because last time Wild Wild West, they did 20M. So we need to also find ways to structure the industry first. Yes, story is important, but let's now have all those other things that would inform what should be put out there.
Most definitely. Thank you for sharing that perspective, Irabor. Really, I mean, every industry has that particular thing that makes them tick, that they are actually known for, and it works. Like you said, if it works, if it ain't broke, why fix it? That's a big question to ask. We're still talking about movies right now, and of course, let's talk briefly about the Everybody Loves Jennifer premiere. It was quite the event, not just your regular premiere. It was a mix of a movie premiere, a huge party, everything in between. Funke Akindele once again pulling out all the stuff. The theme was set to a Lagos after party, and the movie itself, a lot of big names in there. that turned up. Funke Akindele was there, the band, Lai Wasabi, Omomi Dada, Stanley Falls, the bad guy, and so on and so forth, who came out at this premiere. And this is another, should I say, huge thing that Funke Akindele is doing. I mean, she's been doing this for a number of years, and it seems, Irabo, that she kind of has the whole movie production and promotion and everything. She seems to have the whole thing down to a T of sorts. Or am I wrong on this one?
No, you're not wrong. A lot of people who have been seasoned veterans, they have their different compartments. There are some that are seasoned veterans in the sense that when people see them, they see them like, oh, that's a unicorn because they haven't seen them in a while. There are a lot of seasoned veterans who, are still in the limelight doing one or two things. Jide Kosoko is always still in movies,
Oh
year in,
yeah.
year out.
Oh yeah.
So now then you have people too who have been in the industry, whether they are new entrants, but they now appear as seasoned veterans. But you now see somebody like Funke, who is a seasoned veteran in the sense of she has been through every path, as an extra, as a child star, youth star, actress, having to create her own, you get. So now Funke has that wealth of experience, and the whole thing is materializing before our eyes, and people may think it's just happening all of a sudden. She has learned everything, the nitty gritty of the entire industry. And when you think about it and you look at it, every industry savant really covers production, promotion, distribution their way, not through a third party championing everything, controlling, and just making sure that they're the ones at the forefront. But Funke now understands that there is a particular period that you're supposed to make money. She has leverage off that. If you
Right.
remember, it was through Mo Abudu. Mo Abudu was the queen of that particular period. Then she directed a film with Mo Abudu or for Mo Abudu, depending, however you want to look at it. Then she now saw, oh, wow, this is the, box office mega period. Then Mo pivoted from EL to streaming and now, started getting deals with studios. So Funke now decided that, okay, this is where I'm going to latch on. She has created a brand following her separation from her husband because before they were supposed to do scene one or whatever together. Now, if you look at the box office numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, I think she has 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd see that it's different productions.
Mm.
Now, she has now changed it to FAAN, which I feel she should have, rectified that name because FAAN is, finance in terms of our aviation.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true.
So, but now the thing is, she has created that structure of, she even has location, production, distribution, and promotion. And she now has the strategy to go along with it. So even if she needs to just do a movie tomorrow, she already has the infrastructure in place. And now that's what you call an industry savant. Yes, she has the blueprint. Now, I don't now like that it is only a few people that have that blueprint. Because if you have an industry where just maybe 6 people are commanding, let's say 95%, the rest are now fighting for 5%, there's an imbalance. But I still don't have an issue with it at the end of the day because if you get sense, you say go and get sense and be like that, at the end of the day. Now, back to that first topic you brought up. If you really look at Funke's films, what makes Funke's films tick? Who do you think represents Funke's audience? Is Funke's film like the film of a Trino Motion Pictures like The Weeknd or whatever? No, she's just combining culture, the demography that definitely would tap into that type of story. She's niching herself. She's not looking at overly intellectual stories. She's just looking at societal norms that she's trying to portray in her films. If you look like everybody, I mean, everybody loves Jennifer, for example. That's what it is. Bringing the eccentric person mixed with the native person, mixed with like everyday people that Nigerians will love. And if you notice, this is not just a film that came about. They have a series, they have a this, they have it that. So there's a background, there's a build-up. A lot of people don't want to look into it properly to see how this well-oiled machine has come about. So yes, whatever she's getting today, she deserves it. This is not even a case of whether character, this, I don't know her personally, do you understand? We just conduct business third party wise and everything. We've seen a few times, but like a lot of people who would come and be like, this person is not a nice person, this person, or this person is not a this person. Like, put that one corner, look at it very, very, very well. What is being done first? Because to be able to pull this off, I'm even looking forward to, in fact, let me even put a question out to everybody. How much do you think Funke Akindele's Everybody Loves Jennifer is going to make at the opening weekend in Nigeria alone? Because this film is going to be distributed to 30 countries across 6 continents. That's the first time it has ever been done. It's going to be going to countries like Italy and all those other countries. So how much will it make in Nigeria, the opening weekend? And how much will it make worldwide this opening weekend? Because it's going to be released Friday. They're already selling tickets already. You can even go and watch it right now. They're already selling tickets. So how much will this film now make opening weekend in Nigeria and worldwide? And how much will it make eventually when the cinematic run is done, which will be like maybe March next year? So me, I feel it's going to make 500 million opening weekend. I feel it's going to make 500 million opening weekend. Then eventually it's going to make that 5 billion by the end of its cinematic run.
We shall see. We shall see. Very interesting. I mean, Friday is not too far. We're keeping our keen eyes on that one to see how's going to pan out. Let's take a quick break right now. When we come back in, we're going to be talking about the big one, what's been going on in the US, especially where Jay-Z is concerned. He has been named. He has fingers pointing at him right now. Things are heating up where it comes to that case concerning Diddy. Don't go anywhere.
How you see this Diddy matter
Baba,
and Jay-Z matter?
on some level, I'm not surprised because I've been expecting that, oh, since the whole Diddy thing started, that some other big names should have been called out. But yeah, you, because that's almost how it always is. When there's one big fish like that, other names up, and where Jay-Z is concerned, there have been like rumblings, but Jay-Z said he can get K-leg as well, but nobody really come out to say anything. So now let us see. Let us see. I don't say Diddy, that one. Forget. He's a gunner. Like Arsenal is a gunner. I don't know about that one. I don't go. But Jay-Z, well, let us see. Let's see what happens. All right, welcome back into the Grapevine on a Tuesday morning. This is Smooth 98.1, your love music, love life, and love entertainment station as well. This is Ayokunmi here. We're having great conversation and, of course, talking about some just here and there. Irabor also with me this morning. And you, yes, you can join us as well. So WhatsApp is right there. Send your messages in, get your thoughts across. We'd love to hear your take on the issues that we're discussing this morning. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 We're also streaming on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Let me take a quick message before we get into the stories here. Tayo says, okay, Rabo, this is for you. He says, a movie more appalling than Chief Daddy. Rabo, tell us the movie so that he can take over the mantle. Tayo, calm down now. I think the movie industry is accommodating, but it would be good for it to evolve its customer expectation. Funke Akindele isn't resting on her success. I pray politics doesn't ruin her career and ambition. Let her continue to grow. All right, thank you, Tayo, for sharing that there. And like Tayo is surprised that that you find a movie more appalling than Chief Daddy because, yeah, yeah. Anyways, back into the conversation. Like I mentioned before that quick break, let's talk about Jay-Z. Now, he has vehemently denied accusations of raping a 13-year-old girl alongside fellow hip-hop icon Sean Diddy Combs at an after party following the MTV Music Video Awards in 2000. That's 24 years ago. Now, the claim surfaced in an updated civil lawsuit against Combs filed on Sunday, which identified Jay-Z, whose government name is Sean Carter, as a co-defendant previously referred to as Celebrity A. Now, according to the complaint, the minor was assaulted in the presence of other celebrities who allegedly stood by without intervening. Now, the lawsuit accuses both Carter and Combs of committing heinous acts against the plaintiff whose identity remains undisclosed. But we know how close Diddy and Jay-Z are, and to a degree, a lot of people were wondering when exactly Jay-Z's name will probably come up in these conversations because the two over the years have been thick as thieves. And hey, here we are right now.
This is, how do I put it now? It's fun to see in the sense of how people used to revere these people, thinking they were all high and mighty. They now realize that I'm just saying celebrities in general. And I'm like, oh, wow, this person did this. Person like, wow, they are humans, or they're not even better than us at the end of the day. And this is not me knocking celebrities or anything. I'm just saying all these stories, are just funny to see from that standpoint. Now, this is a serious accusation, serious situation. I mean, raping a minor or assaulting a minor. Allegedly. No, of course, allegedly. Raping a minor. I'm speaking objectively from the standpoint of what the subject reads, not even that they did. So, the steez that Jay-Z normally has with his incognito aura and all that, Baba had to come out and talk because this one is not Steve's matter. And I like that he responded immediately. And another thing he said again is that if this thing you're accusing me of is true, you should have approached it from a criminal standpoint and not from a civil standpoint. So that alone helps his argument. It's like, come for me. You understand? I didn't do this, so come for me. And if you're coming for me, I'm even giving you a strategy. And the way you're even supposed to come for me is criminally, not civil. Like, come for me as a criminal. So it's only time that will tell because Diddy's hearing is in May of 2025. So that's still a long time. That's like 6 months. They're about 5 months. So let's see how it unfolds. What would definitely blow all this out of the water is if there is video proof. Now, the hip-hop community of the late 90s and early 2000s. Thank God we didn't have social media then, because when I was a youngin, I have watched several interviews of women, that's Jay-Z doing an interview of women filleting themselves, and Jay-Z was there in the interview. Do you understand? So 2000s, early 2000s, hip-hop was crazy. So you can imagine what would have transpired among rappers and groupies and whatever. Now, where I have an issue is those who willingly go to those settings and know what is happening there, go there still regardless with their full mind and agree to certain things. Those are of age. Then come out and now claim something that is negative. Those are the people that I have an issue with. Now, the people I also have an issue with are adults who see minors and take advantage of them and now come up with the argument that, what are the minors doing there? You as the adults too, you're supposed to take that minor out of there once you see them. Not make the argument that, okay, if this happened to that minor there, and well, what was she doing there? No. I don't agree to that school of thought.
They would also want to argue that, oh, she had ID. I thought she was 18. And all that.
Do you understand? So these days, even me, like there was a lady in church who was like, Irabor, why are you always shaking me? I'm like, I cannot assume that I'm supposed to hug you. I don't want problem. Do you understand? Like I shake her like it's a business deal. So my point now to this story is that let's see what will play out. If there is more evidence, this is just an accusation, and Jay-Z has denied it completely. So if it is true, it is definitely going to ruin his career, his legacy, and all that. And the fact that he has a wife like Beyonce, and we've seen the infidelity situation that's happened over the years, which I feel could still be happening, but again, PR and everything. And he has a daughter and all that. So it's going to be a very horrible situation at the end of the day. But I don't know why Diddy would do it or say that so and so person was involved, maybe out of spite or whatever, I don't know. So for him to say it, and we've already seen evidence from Diddy, why would Diddy bring out information about this from a close friend of his if maybe he wasn't coerced or whatever the situation? So again, more time is required for this particular story. We need more evidence, but just looking at it from an objective standpoint, if this was what happened, then Jay-Z has to answer for his crimes because this is inexcusable for sure.
Mm. It is definitely inexcusable for sure. Oh, and just to clarify, it wasn't from what I gather here, it wasn't a Diddy accusing Jay. It came from a lawsuit against Combs. He was named in there. That's what
And
happened.
that is the semantics. Now they talk now. Say that's
You
now the
remember,
semantics
you
be
remember the
that.
semantics?
So do you understand? It's like when they are doing certain deals or certain hits, it will come from somebody, but it will come from the person when it's coming. You get like they've already ordained it. So how would it happen? That's the thing. There are countries in this world that when they want to do their dirty work, there are other countries they'll go and hire now.
Mm,
Then
mm,
it
mm,
shouldn't come
mm.
back to it. I mean, if you watch covert films, they'll say, if you are going to this place, if they catch you, we not send you.
My hand is not there. Oh,
Do you
straight up.
understand?
They let
So
you do from
it
the
was
get-go.
mentioned, listen to the lingo, it was mentioned in court documents per accusations to Diddy or a Diddy related something, but it was mentioned. So how else, where is it coming from? Is it coming from the law court? I don't understand. It's coming from the Diddy situation now. Do you understand?
Oh
So
my goodness, Irabor, I beg, I beg, I beg. Oh Lord, the time has absolutely flown by. Like we're literally out of time. I really want you to just say a few things concerning this whole Naira Marley Zinuliski situation because it's for me it's very disconcerting to hear these sort of situations about bullying and so on and so forth. Now, in this case, I mean, the Mubad issue was last year, or was it last year thereabouts? Mubad's death and all that, where Naira Marley was mentioned, Zinuliski was mentioned, this and that, and so on and so forth. Now, popular dancer Lil Smart has now said that Naira Marley and Zinuliski should be held responsible if anything happens to him. And he says, or he alleges that the duo were threatening his life. He's talked about exposing their secrets, saying that the late rapper Mobad was bullied till he died, just as he's being threatened right now. These are not the things that we want to see happening, at least in the music industry, Irabor, especially where we have, should I say, younger artists or younger acts and so on and so forth. But here we are hearing something similar.
So the thing is, first of all, we need to even understand the structure of the music industry. Who is who calls the shots? Who are the people put in place? What institutions are, looking after the entire industry? What are the levels to it? This is something that the authorities need to look into completely because that whole Zinoleski, Naira Marley, all of them, like that whole label slash business needs to be looked into properly. Because if you allow such things, that's when you now start having stories like the one we just talked about with Diddy and Co. Like where people just feel they can do and undo and nothing, there's no repercussion. So for
Right.
someone to still be talking about it, I'm not a fan of the whole saying there's no smoke without fire. How do they say it? Like there's sometimes somebody will come at you out of Babele. They'll go and say all
Mm,
sorts.
mm, mm.
Uh-huh. And just because it's being said doesn't mean that there's fire. You get my point. But now the thing is, there is also still fire when there is smoke, So it's a very tricky situation, especially when it is repeated and it is continuous and there are different people saying it. But again, that could still be different. My own is they should look into it. That's it. Like really, really look into it. I mean, there's a situation about drugging girls. There's a situation about partying and everything in Malian's house. There's a situation about Mobad's death. There's so much. So if it's that, I
Mm.
mean, in the Western world, when there's an issue in a company, they just tell CEO to go and resign. They are on indefinite kini. So there are certain steps that need to be taken in this regard. So let's see. But again, we're in Nigeria, so sometimes certain things just happen and you can't do anything about it.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's just see. All right, let me take two messages because I need to run. Tayo says they started to prepare two portions of rice for Jay-Z. Anyways, he's a hustler. Let's see how he manages. I heard DiCaprio was also mentioned in the proceedings. Hollywood, waiting to happen. Tayo, it's nothing new. Sadly so. And then he further says, fun fact, ever since Bob has relocated to the abroad, events like ELJ have been calm with no drama and event focused. Tayo, okay, I won't say anything. And then AY from Nero says that Malian record label is a cult group. The evidence is crystal clear.
Wait,
AY.
Bob don't leave us.
Bob is not in Nigeria now.
Oh, like permanently?
Well, I don't know how permanently it is, but at the moment, Bob is not among us in the country.
Ah, wow. Let's see how
Yes,
he
so
fares. Because exchange rate no easy where you get people where they sponsor and share. So
it's not beans now. Fingers are not equal, as they say.
mm-hmm.
All right, we've come to the end of the great fight. Thank you, Rebel, for always making it a fun time. I appreciate you
Pleasure,
taking the
man.
time out to
Always
join
are.
me.
Yeah,
All right.
take care.
All right. Now, you too. Thank you all for sharing your thoughts and your messages with us as well. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1. The fun never stops. The Smooth Breakfast will continue. Got more great music lined up for you to get you settled as your Tuesday workday gets into full gear.